when just a kiss actually turned out to be a 25-year-old lie? Well, in some cases, the person you are married to might not be as perfect as you think they are. I've been married to my wife for over 2 decades. We've known each other for close to 3 decades. We were childhood sweethearts. We have 3 children together, who are all now adults. This year will be our silver anniversary, so I think we've done well. Of course, we've had our ups and downs, as all marriages do, and we've always worked through the issues. Just recently, however, we were reminiscing about the days when we were kids and dating, and she let slip about the time she cheated on me before we were married. I forgave her back then because I thought it was just a silly bit of kissing. Turns out it wasn't. In my opinion, I think he was head over heels for this woman, and the relationship was probably in its early stages. That's why he was quick to forgive her. And they were young, but that still doesn't make it right. We met each other when I had just turned 18. She was 16, turning 17. We were friends for about a year first, but just before my 19th birthday, we finally started seeing each other. Everything was going well between us, but one night on my way home, I was walking past her ex's house. I heard talking and thought I'd pop in and say hello. Her ex and I were friends back then. To my surprise, my wife, then girlfriend, was there. I thought it was a bit fishy, so I asked what was going on. My wife said they were just chatting, and she was just leaving. I offered to walk her home. She said no, which again, I found a bit odd. The following morning, when I went to see her, she told me that she had something to tell me. This can't be good. I sat down and said, sure, okay. She then told me that she and her ex had been kissing and that she was really sorry. It would never happen again, etc. I took a day away from her to give myself time to think about it and ultimately decided to forgive her. After all, it was just a bit of kissing. I mean, how much can you get up to in a front garden? We got married a year later and everything has been good. The first 6 years or so were a bit testing for us because we were married young, but we got through it because our love for each other was strong. I always seem to hear that phrase, because our love for each other was strong. But on whose side? Fast forward to a few months ago, and we were having a few drinks and reminiscing about our childhood days in dating. We got on the subject of cheating, and she asked me why I didn't dump her back then. I explained that in my eyes, it was just a kiss and that I had forgiven her for it because I loved her and I wasn't going to let a one-time silly kiss ruin that. She then said, but it wasn't just a kiss. Shots fired! A little taken aback, I looked at her and asked what she meant. She then told me she had been seeing him every night since we had started dating, and it just wasn't kissing. It was sexual. Folks, do you think someone who is cheating on you is going to be honest about what really happened? No, cheaters are not that forthcoming. Don't forget that. I was honestly stunned and didn't quite know what to do. I shouldn't have, but I started to ask her for more details. She filled me in on what they were doing with each other every night, and it kind of made me feel a little sick. Thankfully, there was no intercourse. She was adamant about that. Just because she was adamant about it doesn't necessarily mean she's telling the truth. She was also very adamant that she had been faithful to me since that day. After that night, I said to her that I needed a little time because while it happened for her over 2 decades ago, it had only just happened for me because I'd only just been filled in on the depth of the cheating. Some women will say, oh shucks, it happened almost 30 years ago. It's not the same. Do you remember the judge who was married for almost 50 years and found out all 3 of his kids were not his? Put that in perspective. I reached out to talk with friends about it. They just thought I was being silly because of the amount of time that had passed. Am I being silly? I mean, if I had known what was really going on back then, my entire life would be different now. I don't think I would have married her for one. Boom. There it is. I agree with him. I don't think he would have married her. If he had known the depth and the extent of her cheating, he would have put that bitch back on the street. But I did because, as far as I knew, it was just a kiss. Now it just feels like my entire marriage has been a lie, a dupe, if you like. A month or so has passed, and I've been trying to tell myself that it was a long time ago and that I should, like my friend suggested, stop being silly. Well, ask your friends, what would they do if they were in your situation? I bet their responses wouldn't be the same, but I can't. The thought of her with him doing the things that they were doing just keeps swimming around in my mind. A few days ago, we had a big talk. I wanted to get a better understanding as to why she did it. A lot more things came out as she wanted to be as truthful with me as possible, she said. She even told me about things that happened before me, even though it was none of my business, because it was before I started dating her. But she told me that she had even cheated on her ex with multiple guys while on a 2-week trip to Spain with her parents. One of the guys had taken her to the beach and had gotten to third base with her. She let him do it. When she came home, she then dumped her ex and started dating me. She then cheated on me with him. After hearing all of what she had to say, I just got a sick feeling in my stomach. I've known this girl for 3/4 of my life. I've been married to her for half of it. Now I just can't get rid of the thoughts about her doing the things she did when she was young. She told me people can change, and yes, I agree they can, but there's a little voice in my head saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't know if I can ever trust her again. I don't know, homie. It might be a little bit too late for that. Things will never be the same for me, and I hate feeling this way about her. So I don't know where to go from here. I'm trying to let it all go and just get on with our lives, but I've become extremely depressed and snappy toward people. I'm full of sadness because it turns out my perfect wife and perfect marriage have been a lie. TLDR, my wife cheated on me over 2 decades ago. I forgave her back then, but I've just found out she lied to me about the context of the cheating, and now I don't know if I can trust her anymore. I just want to stop feeling like this. How do I move on? Well, all I have to say is he might be in some trouble, and I'm going to tell you why. 1, we don't know what state he is in. If he divorces her, what grounds will he use to divorce her? If it's a no-fault divorce state, he might be paying alimony for a long time, depending on their financial situation and income. That's a tough spot to be in. Anyway, if you like this type of content, consider subscribing. Until next time.